Alright, welcome back. This is MDog, and we are on my main account. So in the last episode of our leveling series, we actually tried this spot on Old Burg. I thought we'd come back to it and see if it's any better on my main account or just if it's better in general. We're going to do a little bit of a variety on the normal Bream ground bait. So normally Bream ground bait has millet porridge, maggots, and we're going to add peas. And instead of anise oil, we're going to go spicy garlic, which is definitely a thing. I mean, this is something that we've done. Using spicy garlic instead of anise oil is not that unusual. I think adding peas is a little different. I'm actually trying to figure out if I want to add an additional like worm or something else. Chopped worm, even casters. Cookies could be a thing. Amino is always an interesting option. Maybe that's what we should do. Just add a little bit of amino to it. So we'll try this. Now this may make the spot worse. You know, oh, we got 10 out of 10. That's always fun. All right, so we're going to use Super Bream. And we're going to do 15 clip. We're right at the beginning of Bream time, slightly early maybe. We're using 7.4 fluorocarbon liter. Not sure why we have bells on. All right, 15. Now this leader is clay, or is a braided leader. But around that same size. We overcast that one a little bit. This one's also a braided leader. Maybe we change this one to, we'll go 6.2 on this one. So we're all over the place a little bit, but I don't know that any of that will make a huge difference. Let's try not to overcast this one. We still did a little bit, but that was closer. All right. So let's see if we can get any Bream going using our Super Bream ground bait. I believe, looking through recent comments on videos, looks like somebody on our Fisher Online video said more tourney videos would be cool. Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, I think I'm trying to, on that leveling series, I'm trying to balance. In some episodes, I'm trying to focus on like just one map, right? As we're unlocking new maps. I also think it's just a smart strategy in Fisher Online to do daily quests as often as possible, both for the bonuses and the tokens you get. But there's no doubt that I enjoy those tournaments. There's almost always a tournament going on at somewhere, just according to if you have access to that map. And they are quite fun because it forces you to figure out, sometimes on the fly, all right, how are we going to target this fish species using this type of fishing, which can be a lot of fun. All right, that's a good start. Thanks for the series. Appreciate it. Looking forward to what you have for us next. That was from Michael AU. Thank you so much. I mean, thanks for the support. It's been, I believe that's in reference to the end of the leveling series we did here in RF4. We made it 51 episodes in and have finally brought that one to a close. But as I said, I'm going to try to continue to do videos like this one, where we're not just doing high-level spots, but try to mix and match as we go. So apparently people are saying that I said somebody's name was Bear Lake. You know, my mouth often gets ahead of my brain. I'll have to go back and look at that video and see. I just don't remember what I said or when I said it. So Croter says, trolling Corey with the hijacker blast. 75004, 75F004, plenty of big fish. Yeah, that's something else I've thought about doing since we've so recently been trolling Corey, to actually go back there on my main account with wobblers and stuff that we didn't have unlocked yet on the alt account. And also be able to use a little bit more ideal gear for that. And Chad asks, forgive me if you mentioned this in prior vids, but did you ever come to a decision on what is the better deal or recommendation between Pulsar and the Supercast? I'd like to learn how to catch bream at night at Corey just to save on the traveling cost, or is that being too conservative? Yeah, I mean, the issue with that is that unless there's a really active spot at Corey, then it's going to be worth it to go to wherever the active spot is. But and I don't know right now, like, what, if anything, is particularly good at Corey. If I hear about a spot, I'll try to remember to highlight it. But if there is a spot, then yeah, obviously, even if it's a little slower, it's still probably worth it because you're not putting all that travel cost into it. And plus, you don't have to be as aggressive on trying to get to Old Burg and get set up as quickly as possible. You don't feel like you're missing as much time. All right, let's go ahead and get this green blinker on. Nope, not the green. Let's do blue. Man. Another nice one over here. So for whatever reason, this far right side has caught the best bream so far. That's too far. The only difference is we are casting slightly right on it, and it has a slightly smaller fluorocarbon leader on that one. We'll see how this goes overnight, but I already think that for whatever reason, this feels a little better than it did on our leveling account. Which, I mean, listen, we've got bonuses on our feeder rod. Obviously, we've got, we're able to use loop rig. I've got points in loop rig. Overall, our bottom fishing is way more leveled up. So you'd hope that there'd be a little bit of an advantage. We're using different ground bait. So lots of differences. Okay, so let me think about this, Chad. Did I decide? I mean, I liked using the Pulsar a lot. Now, we did upgrade our Supercast, and it seemed fine. I think we're splitting hairs. I think the upgraded Supercast and the Pulsar are so close that whichever one you can get, I think is fine. If you have a choice between the two and you don't mind spending a little bit more silver on the Pulsar, yeah, I think I'd lean towards the Pulsar or even more the Saber 60. But if you've got stock issues or you want to save a little silver, I thought the Supercast did fine. It's about the same thing. You're going to be able to get 3-4 kilo fish in at Corey relatively quickly. Chase them a little bit and you get them in. Much past that, no matter which one you have, you're going to do a little chasing. And if you start hitting the real big ones, it's going to be, hold on for dear life for a while. All right, John Paul says, thanks, dog. I've reached level 20 now, fishing bream during the night from 18 to 7 a.m. at Old Burg, gaining 30 to 150 silver per night, and then transfer to Balaya to fish grayling or brown trout, gaining 50 to 200 silver per day. I have 2.5 silver at the moment and planning to start saving silver to buy things you've recommended. Thanks a lot. It really helps beginners like me. Last question for the skill points. Should I save it and invest in carp fishing, or where should I put it in? Yeah, so if you're saving up for that Caliber HSV and the Fortuna carp rods, which it sounds like you are on your way to doing that, you've got a lot of good silver saved up, you've got a good strategy. I do think it's appropriate to start thinking about points in carp rods, and then also points in the different rigs you're going to use for carp fishing. If you are pretty sure that that's going to be one of the things you enjoy the most, which is carp fishing, and you're going to spend a lot of time doing that. The way I ended up going for this was classic hair rig 3 points, and then classic pop-up rig 3 points. I've added a few more points past that in different ones, like I've got 1 point in maggot snap in, and I mean, you know, bait fish bottom rig, snowman rig, because sometimes that is a pretty good option. But the main thing you want to do is you want to have one option where you're using the sinking boilies and pellets, and then one option where you're using pop-up boilies and corn. Because over the course of time, even at amber, but especially when you count Bear, Old Burg, and other locations like Octuba, where you can catch different types of carp, over the course of time, sometimes the sinking boilie and or pellet combinations are going to be best, and sometimes the pop-up boilie with the different artificial corn is going to be best. But like you said, before I put points in those, I would put points in fishing with a carp rod. Can you see that, or am I in the way? Because this is what's going to give you distance, accuracy, casting, and some control of the fish. So yeah, if you're going to be doing a lot of carp fishing, it's worth getting points in those categories. Now, if you're still unsure, it's not that big a deal. It doesn't hurt to wait. You know, even like on my main account right now, if I go back to this, you'll notice that I have 8 points that I haven't spent. And I got to tell you, it's been like that for months. You know, are there things that I could put it in that would make sense? Like, yeah, like why have I not finished using a spinning reel? That's silly. But kind of holding on to them because I'm sort of at a point where I've got points in the stuff that I really want to have points in. And man, I've got to watch the friction brake on this one. This is the one that has the 6 point something liter, and it does not take much to pop that. And you know, I just haven't been sure, like, am I going to start leaning towards a different type of fishing, or I just wanted to save that freedom. So it doesn't make such a big difference that, especially if you've already used your free reset, then take your time, be patient, think it over, you know, get advice from different people. Now, I do think at some point it sounds like they're going to they're going to add something like fly fishing or whatever to the game. If that really does happen one day and they change what skills are available and such, we may get another refresh there, at least in some of our skill points, but I wouldn't count on it. So if you've already used your free one, then feel free to just be patient on deciding how you want to spend your points. Because while it does help, it doesn't make that big of a difference. Somebody said yesterday that Bream Spot 2754 is dead. I recommend the one at the side, which is more active. Yeah, I mean, I saw, like, as you may have seen in our video, I mean, um, I switched to this spot that was like right over here in E3, and it did seem a little bit more active, but I wanted to try this again on our main account because I'm seeing other people are still having some success here at 2754. And while it may not be on the fire, I mean, we're already at 12 over a kilo and it's 1:30 in the morning, so it's going pretty good still. I don't know why, but I all of a sudden had this like horrible feeling that I've been muted this whole time, but it looks like we're good. I especially like using the spicy garlic attractant when we're using garlic dough as the main base. I mean, I think you can do it anytime, obviously, but it just makes more sense for me, I guess. So that's when I tend to think about doing it, when garlic dough seems to be the bait of choice for the Bream currently. These are pretty good sized Bream too. It's a roach, I think. can really tell a difference in that 6.2 liter versus the 6.8, or certainly the 7.4. Like right around there is a big difference. I bet we're just about at 18, aren't we? Yeah, we're right at 18. This is great. This is a big one. .1. I think that's the best one of the day, right? So far? Yep. 6, 12, 18. We're at 21. Good grief. And it's 4:15. I mean, we can get a couple more. And this is where it is nice to have switched back to my main account, just in the sense of, you know, it's nice to continue to make some silver. I don't, at this point, care too much about the XP. It doesn't sound like there's gonna be a justification for being, you know, in your 40s, basically, level-wise. Anytime soon, at least, in terms of where we're going math-wise or whatever. So I'm not really worried about getting XP on my main account, but to continue to make silver, not knowing how expensive the, you know, new types of gear might be in the future. There's already, you know, if they were to come out with a C map that really like heavy duty conventional reels and stuff were actually worthwhile, then obviously there's already stuff that would be really expensive to get into. Yeah, we're gonna hit 24 if we get one more. 24 over a kilo. That's about as good as a Bream spot gets, typically. I mean, all right, there it is. That is 24 over a kilo. 25. Wow. Guarded just caught a 33 kilo common carp That is a super trophy. No way it was at Old Burg. No, it was at Amber. Has to have been at Amber, right? Look at that. Oh my goodness. Freshwater krill pellets, salmon 20. That's amazing. Congrats. Oh, we still can't chat and chat yet, can we? This is unreal. So let's see. 6, 12, 18, 24, 27. Can we hit 30 by 8 a.m.? I mean, I'm not going to sit here like just trying to get one more when it's past prime time, but that's another one. We just need 2 more. This used to be trophy time right here. Right around 7 a.m. Big boy would come in sometimes. I don't know. It seems like recently trophy bream for me have been closer to like midnight and stuff. So it might be a little different these days, but that's another one. Over a kilo. Well, I think it's safe to say that this spot is not dead. In fact, this spot is on fire. And this ground bait did not slow things down. If anything, it may have been very successful. We are using large 1 hooks, and just one more time, this is the ground bait. Pretty standard in terms of the base and at least 2 of the additives. We did add peas. We know that bream like peas. And I added amino feed pellets just to juice it up a little bit. And then we're going with the spicy garlic attractant because we are using garlic dough as the main bait. And if you'll notice, that's not the only recipe of super bream. I mean, I've done different things that are similar. Like this one had, no, that's the one we're using. This one had pearl barley, maggots, millet porridge, spicy garlic. So that's just regular bream ground bait with spicy garlic added, which again, we've been doing that for years. Sometimes I use anise oil, sometimes I use spicy garlic for the attractant, and that's not just me. I've seen other people do that as well. I don't remember where that initially came from, but all right, folks. I don't know. Like I don't trust my memory to say one way or another, but I don't remember getting 30 over a kilo in one night before. If that's happened, I just don't remember it. And again, we're going to go till about 8 or 8:30 a.m. and then we'll see how we did. See if we can get a nice juicy amount of silver so we can make this spot look even more enticing. Yeah, chat's still not working. So at this point, we probably will not cast it back in if we catch another fish here. They are still coming out. It's so good right now. I mean, it might go till 10. I don't know. Let's go see what we've made. See if there's any cafe orders. Then we'll come back out and see if we got another one on one of the other two rods just for fun. Ooh. We are one short. That is a bummer. Plenty of time left. So if you see this and want to get on it, you can probably get there. Yeah, it's 170 silver. That's pretty nice. All right, so 170 silver without the cafe order. And then that cafe order would add another 76 for just a little bit off of the 170. So that's a really good night of bream fishing. Does not look like we have another fish on. All right, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll see you next time. We'll try to, I don't know, maybe we will do a little trolling of Corey or something like that. I'll look around and see what else looks interesting for the next one. But tight lines, everybody.